Now tarot guided me into being honest with myself. Like there were some times I would open the card, I'm like, hey, you're calling me out now. And most of the time when we have blockages, like for you to access it is just through water.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Art of Being, a sacred space where we dive into spirituality, healing, manifestation, and all the magic of becoming.
We explore what it means to truly live, to grow, to heal, and to be in this ever-evolving dance between our humanness and our higher selves.
I am Bamzi, a mindset and manifestation coach.
And I'm Joy, a wellness coach. We're so glad you're here. Take a deep breath, settle in, and let's journey together.
Welcome back, beautiful soul. Today, I'm so excited to have Anastancia with me. Anastancia is an energy healer. She's a tarot reader. She's a spiritualist. And I had the pleasure of attending Anastancia's tarot reading. She read me, and like when she read me, it was like my body responding to what she was saying. And that's how I knew that that information is what is true, because it was connecting to my body rather. And I think I told her. And I also had a pleasure of attending her sound healing. And on that day, I was not in the best space mentally. So it was so healing for me, right? I was already crying even before the sound healing. And it was such a beautiful experience. And so I have the pleasure of having her to talk about that today. Welcome to the Art of Being, Anastancia.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Relaxed.
You're feeling very zen.
Very zen and calm.
Yeah, you've been talking about how you're feeling very relaxed and calm. Can you tell me why that is?
So on Saturday, I had a pleasure to facilitate another sound alchemy session, which was 1.5 hours. And we're now calling it Soulful Saturdays. It was about emotions, surrendering to our emotions and letting them flow.
Yeah.
So we had 12 people show up, and the point was to relax and to just let your emotions speak, or just let them guide you. And they've guided me to this Zen space that I'm in, and I'm very relaxed and happy.
Yeah, I love that you're feeling that energy from Saturday to now. You're still feeling it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Between that Saturday and now, I've experienced a lot of release, especially from my root chakra,
right,
and my heart chakra.
Right.
So that's also the other thing. I think also that release the more I released, the more I got deeper into the Zen. So I think the more the days go by, the more I'm releasing and the more relaxed I'm feeling. Because
it's like you're integrating some of that as days go by, right?
Yeah. So how I was on Saturday and yesterday was like I'm getting way deeper. Like today I'm even yawning when I'm just sitting.
Yes, you were yawning in the car as we were coming here.
So even the Uber driver was sleeping. So it's kind of just, it's getting more relaxed, and it's like I'm accessing my parasympathetic nervous system more.
Yes.
And getting to this calm place that I've never been before. So I'm just like, yay!
I actually want to get into that later in the session, but before we get into that, of course, a lot of people don't know you. This is, I think, the third time that I'm meeting you.
Yes.
And so I kind of want to go back to who is Anastancia. I want to go back to your background and your story of what led you to here and the work that you're doing now. So I just want to go back to maybe, were there signs in your childhood? Were there things that kind of always indicated of like the gifts that you have and like maybe the direction that you're going to be drawn into? Were there signs? So I just want to hear about your background and what led you to here now.
My childhood was a really sad one.
Right.
It wasn't something, it was something that I'm always afraid to speak of.
Right.
I'm very open about, like, very emotional, so I cry sometimes.
That's okay. This is a safe space. Yeah, it's a safe
so whenever
space.
I just cry.
If you feel comfortable, like crying is good. It's releasing, right? It's like you're healing through. Yeah.
So when I was a child, my parents left me and my sister in the hands of a caregiver.
Right.
Who beat me to death.
Oh.
Like, so I was like left for dead, and he broke my left arm. I was left-handed. And that's like one of the biggest things that you could tell if someone is like gifted, is if they are left-handed.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
And at that time in society, left-handed people were really shunned.
They're trying to change you to start using your right hand.
So I was like literally forced to use, I had to learn to use the right hand because this one was broken. So but now that I'm healing, I use both of them because this is like the programming and this is like now it's coming back. I'm remembering.
To what you naturally knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that trauma of like not having protection and growing up in spaces whereby I had to like curate this personality to fit in and be liked. So I really people pleased a lot, and I was bullied a lot, especially with adults. Mostly adults. As growing up, I just felt like adults saw me as a threat. And that was like, why are they looking at me as a threat? I am a child.
Right.
So those were the things that when I was questioning growing up, I would be like, yeah, there's something here. And also around me, people would show themselves their true colors. And then like somewhere else, they paint a different picture. And I'm just like, so I could just see people for who they are.
So it sounds like you were intuitive. You were using your intuition from early on.
Yes, from early on. I could see even family members, those friends. And for that, they would bully me. I think it was just a way to try to make me feel less than. But it's funny enough, I would just get into arguments with adults and just be like, no, I could speak up. But deep within, there was this conflict of like, why is this happening to me? And things like that. So also that was affecting me mentally. And from our society as women, we are not supposed to process emotions. So I never processed that being beaten to death thing. And you never even speak about it. So I was around and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so angry. Why is no one talking about what happened to me? This is domestic violence. This is very hard. And I was a child and no one even gave me room to speak about it. Whenever I tried to speak about it, I'd be shut down.
Right.
So those emotions were stuck in my body for like 20-something years. And I couldn't, even before I met Alia, I could not process emotions. I would
immediately disconnect.
Yeah, I would disconnect. But just before when I met Alia, my body was like, no, you have to let this go. You have to release. And this was like 30-something years of emotions that are in my body. I have not processed. And like each time I would sit down, I would still go back to whoever has bullied me and each scene and remember and cry. But you see, that's not processing. And whenever
reliving.
Yeah. And whenever I would get into an argument with someone, I wouldn't want to. I would want to soften it and not try to get into.
Right.
Which was a very toxic way of living and existing and processing things.
Right.
So I wasn't living my truth. I was trying to dim things down, making others comfortable, and this was because of not feeling safe as a child. So my root chakra was like. Yeah, it was scattered. So by the time when I was meeting Alia last year, I was now I now could see how my family and how they were, how them being in my life was affecting me. And the friends I was also picking, they were from a trauma bond.
Right, because it was at a different time.
Yeah, so that's why I had to start over. I had Nara Smith. I had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
I had to leave everyone behind. And that was like it. Because everything for me was just trauma bond. It was the friendships. I had this best friend that I had a telepathic connection with, but still trauma bond. And I came to realize this after I went to Bali and I met this healer. And before I met her, I was very angry. I was always angry. And I remember after a session with her, I felt like the anger was... But still, I didn't know how to process and release it. So she removed the trauma, but I needed to still process things. But then in my mind, it opened me up to now. I started to see those relationships. I started to see how I was trauma bonding, how I was like not asking for things. I was just making people comfortable while dimming my shine. But that does not sit well with people around you because, they like the you that you've always been. And it started to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely resonate with that, because I feel like we play roles and we don't realize. So whatever role that you were playing in their lives, like whatever role that you assigned yourself and they assigned you is, and put you in a box, and you also had put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
When you step out of that, that can ruffle a lot of feathers, right? You become the villain in whatever dynamic that you are.
So it was like, what are you? Well, no, we're used to the one who always keeps the peace, the one who never judges, the one who never questions, the one who never gives without receiving. Who is this one that is now asking for a space in the table? Yeah, it was very evident. And at that time, I was trying to, be like, no, they're my people. But then, like, I was being shown no. And I was like, you need to ask for more. You need to, but you cannot, because people are used to you giving without receiving. People are used to not confronting, not asking, just going as it is. No, whenever I say, you accept.
No question asked.
But now you're like, no, I have to stand up for myself. I have to now put myself first. And they're not used to that. They're used to you not prioritizing everyone else but yourself. So all this came, and just it came with a lot, which was bringing up these traumas and all these things that now I had to process.
Right.
So now the anxiety just spiked up.
Right.
The anxiety spiked up, and then the family started to push me away, in the sense that friends also started to push me away. Because, now that you're not the goody tissue that you used to be, what good are you for us? But you see, the people are doing that. They're not pushing you away for you to go. They're pushing you away so you can come and beg. But then for me, I was like, I've begged for too long. I feel like I need a space whereby I don't need to beg to exist. So I now started just moving away from that.
Right.
And that's when I met Alia.
Right.
And then we did the sound sessions. And then it turned out that all my chakras were off balance.
So I want to go back to, before we get into the chakras and the meat of the work that you do, because I really want to dive into that. I want to understand, for a lot of people that might be going through the same thing that you were going through, because there are a lot of people that are doing that. So when you were talking about how you were holding the emotions, how they were stuck in your body, and how your body was now telling you like you can't escape anymore, I just wanted to understand, like, how was that showing up? Because there's somebody that could be watching or listening to this, and maybe that's what's going on with them, but they don't know, right? So maybe like, what were the signs, and how was it feeling in your body, right? So that we can understand like what that was like for you, and maybe it can help somebody who's listening.
It was mostly manifesting as pain.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly I would feel pain.
Like a physical pain?
Yes, physical intense pain. I could feel it at the back, like just at the heart center, but at the back.
Right.
Legs, especially the root chakra, you feel most pain in your legs and your foot. So I could feel it as pain, and also headaches.
Interesting.
And looping thoughts. They were always coming, a lot of thoughts, and just overthinking, anxiety. I would say, and another thing, my body temperature was always down. Like,
you were cold?
Yeah, I was always cold. So most of the time, I would even spend like a huge amount of time on the sun, just trying to warm myself up. So my body was very cold. And now I just learned that it's because like I wasn't in my body, I wasn't grounded. Most of like I was operating from the higher chakras and my lower, so my lower chakras were very empty. Mostly I was anxious, cold, pain, and I would overthink every single little things. And then another thing, I was always angry. Every little thing would piss me off. Even there's something that is not supposed to piss me off, it just piss me off. And sometimes I'll be like, this is just a really small matter. Why is it annoying me too much? So the anger part was also coming in a lot.
Yeah. I love that. And I love that because I think like for somebody, when they see signs like that, especially when signs are physical, especially when it's something you're feeling in your body, immediately I think you're like, okay, I'm gonna go see the doctor. I'm gonna go like get a diagnosis of like what might be happening. And Was that something you did? Because it's like a natural thing that a lot of people would go to, but I don't know. Like, is that something you did?
I got into like smoking as a way to escape.
Right. Okay.
And I also was doing sports. So most of the time, every weekend, I would go play frisbee and run. But that wasn't helping. Then when I am just by myself, I would smoke weed and...
Yeah, you just...
So
you're not here.
Yeah,
you're somewhere else.
Yeah, so like I once went to a doctor, but the doctor told me there's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
And they gave me anxiety medication. I think this was around 2019, 2017 then. I went to a church doctor and I was like, I'm feeling pain at the back. I don't know what that is. Now this is before it got to start to be intense. And he was like, there's nothing wrong with you. Let's just give you anxiety medication. So I took it for like 2 weeks. Then I felt like I was okay. But then now that kind of triggered things. Then I was like, no. So I got into like, I was addicted into like smoking, which got to a point where I think for 4 years I was just smoking every single day. Every single time. Anything annoying, I go smoke. And I go...
Yeah.
Because then it just felt me like it was giving me a sense of control.
Right.
But it was addiction.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I got into this addiction whereby for me to even just sit with you, I had to like go smoke first and come.
Yeah.
Before I went to meet people, I would go smoke first before I go. And then after I'm back, I smoke again. So it got to a point whereby it was...
Right, because it's a way of escaping, like what you're escaping your body, escaping yourself, escaping what you know, like so your body is telling you something. Your higher intelligence, your higher self is telling you something.
Yeah.
But it's like because you don't understand, first of all, what's going on. And second of all, maybe you don't feel ready. You don't feel like you have the capacity to deal with whatever is happening. The easiest way is escaping. And I think like a lot of us, it's something we can resonate with because we escape a lot. Whether for you it was smoking, but there's a lot of us who escape through careers. There's so many ways of escaping that people don't realize that it's escaping because maybe sometimes it's something that is desired. Like for example, somebody who escapes through like just progression. I just want to achieve. That's like sometimes a way of escaping. Yeah. And so for you, like it sounds like the escaping worked to an extent and then it reached a point where like you couldn't escape anymore. Can you talk about that point where like it was you can't do it anymore and what that was like for you?
It got to a point, I think, around sometime last year, around, I think, June, July, where it was just like, no, it's not working. Now, even when you try the highest grade of weed, it's not working.
Doesn't do it.
Like,
it wasn't doing it.
Wait, but this is like the best quality. Why am I getting... okay, why am I not getting the buzz? And I think that's when the body was just like, yeah...
You have to deal with this.
You have to deal with
You have to sit with
this.
this.
You cannot run. You have to walk through this.
Right.
So yeah, it got to a point where it was just like, not anymore. Because sometimes even if, like I would get away from weed and work, even like work morning, day, night. Because sometimes I most of the time I was working from home. So I'd work at day, night. When someone is asking me, I'm like, no, I'm busy with work. And because of most of my clients were outside the country and the time difference, I was like, no, okay, I'll work. And so also I wasn't sleeping very well. And when I wanted to sleep, I needed weed to sleep. So whenever I don't want to smoke, I'm working. Whenever I'm like not working, I'm smoking. So that was also the other time. So when it got to a point whereby now the weed that is like the high is supposed to even go for a week. It's not even hitting for 5 minutes. So we were like, yeah, now the body has just been like, no, you have to. So it got to a point where now it became useless.
Right.
So I was forced into like getting into it.
And so at that point, did you know that, okay, this is the natural next step for me is to look deep into what's happening? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't know that. It's like they might try to figure out like a different drug, a different solution of escaping, right? Finding some way, like if the weed is not working, what else is going to work for me in order for me to continue this thing that I'm doing? And for you, did you know, okay, this is the next step for me? The healing itself.
Yes.
You knew that.
Yeah. When the weed wasn't working, and I think from from like whatever I'd researched, I didn't want to get into any drugs.
Right.
More like just, and even weed, I saw it as a herb.
Right.
That's why I was like,
oh,
yeah,
it's a plant, yeah.
It's a herb.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, yeah, I don't want to get into any other drugs, because then that it becomes complicated, especially the manufactured ones.
Right.
So for me, when it got to that point, I was like, this is my only go-to drug. It means then I have to go deeper. So it just, I knew. I was like, if weed is not working, I have to go deeper. Because even when the research I had done, it's like weed helps you access higher consciousness,
right,
and things like that. I wasn't accessing higher consciousness. I was just like escaping and like I was just using it for that, to escape my emotions. But when it got to that point where it wasn't hitting, it just came to me. It was like, no, now you have to get into it and do the work.
Okay. Was there a part of you that had a spiritual background, religious background? Because I am imagining somebody who's never like exposed themselves, because a lot of us are raised religious, or sometimes maybe somebody was not raised religious, right? Like, how do you just know? Like, was there like a first book you read? Your entry point. I
was raised very religious,
right?
In a Catholic, but mostly along the way, I once hosted an OPGC. National Geovisual. So like it's a program for the Chinese. They came here for the company I used to work for, and they hosted like a really huge event. It was at KICC in 2018. But before that, I would come across books like Flying Without a Broom, things about mysticism and like these things about dimensions.
Right.
And I was so drawn to these books. Like,
for a reason, of course. There's a reason you are drawn to them. Yeah.
Even in my apartment, you can see I have like those books. I bought them a long time ago. Things like to do with like a book. There's one book of optimism that I'd read one time on a flight to South Africa. So I was drawn to these books that were talking about like mysticism, the spirit world, and things like that. And Flying Without a Broom was kind of like what introduced me to more of. I was reading it and I was like, this seems like it makes sense. But deep down, I was also afraid.
Right.
Yeah. I was also afraid because like this information is being shunned out here and being treated as witchcraft and things like that. So it was on a negative light.
Right.
But there's just something within me that was like...
resonating with it.
Church hasn't worked. So...
Yeah.
So that was resonating, and then church. It made sense that church never worked. Then God never listened. But... now this was now introducing me to myself, and it was making sense for me for some reason, and I had stopped going to church as well. It got to a point. I remember when there was this time before, was it around 2020, before 2020, I was like, this is my last time going to church. If God doesn't listen, I am done. and just when I went and I prayed that day and nothing happened, and I was just like, I said it, this is my last time.
Right.
And I stopped going to church. So most of the time when the relatives I would visit, they would start talking about church, I'd be like, yeah, no. So even I stopped going to visit relatives because every Sunday they have to go to church. And for me, I'm like, no, I'm moving away from that. I'm just trying to figure out what it is about me, because these books are making more sense than the knowledge I have acquired. And also even just church. As a young child, it was forced. We're like, if you don't go to church, you'll look for a place to go stay.
Yeah. So
that was like, for me, it was like, yeah. And there's this mysticism that kind of makes sense. So yeah, I was like, the books were kind of just giving me, and I would run into them randomly. I was just walking in the street and then I saw that book.
Because you needed to see them.
Yeah. I would just buy it.
Right.
That's the thing, like, even just growing up, if something is drawn to me, I would go to it. And I would just take it and be like, whatever we process on the way.
Yeah.
I'm drawn to it, I'm going for it.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of us dismiss what comes across your awareness, because, like, there's a reason why you're aware of what you're aware of. There's a reason why you're awareness, because when you're not aware of something, right, it's not important to you.
Yes.
Right? There's a reason why something came across you. And I'm glad that like you listened to that. Like there was it's almost feels like there's a guidance that's going on, and I feel like we're always guided even without knowing, right?
Yeah.
And like it's whether we choose to go with that or not. And so then you knew then, okay, the weed is not working. I need to do something here. And did you know exactly what it is that you needed to do? Because then we're now entering like now your healing journey and how you then came to yourself.
So before, actually the weed was happening because I tried therapy.
Okay.
I tried
Talk. You had
therapy.
tried talk therapy.
Yeah, I tried
Okay.
talk therapy,
Mhm.
and these therapists I felt like they were just trying to get me to make the peace with the people who harmed me,
Right.
rather than like me bettering myself.
Right.
So then I was like, no, but this is
Right.
not helping me. This is actually helping me. It's helping the
Yeah.
abuser, not the victim.
Right.
Why do I have to go call the person who abused me
Mhm.
and talk to them? Why?
Right.
So like
Yeah.
when I was doing after the therapy, it helped me acknowledge there was an issue. But then that's why like now I kind of went into weed because I felt like no, this therapy is more of acknowledging the abuser than the victim. So I got into weed, and in the process of weed, I started doing like hikes with swimming, which was also kind of helping a bit.
Yeah,
It's
get into your
nature,
body
yeah.
and yeah.
So we'd go for a hike and then we get into cold water. That was helping me like release something and relax a bit. Then after some time, that's when I didn't know what to do. Now when weed kind of didn't work, I didn't know what exactly to do.
Right.
So I was like, whatever the universe has for me, the universe would guide me. Because I don't know what to do, but I feel like I need to do something. And it's funny, I even told one of the people who showed up on Saturday, when the time is right, the teacher
shows up. Absolutely.
And that's when I started doing yoga. I joined Beyond Body. I was like doing, and at that time my body was heavy. I was feeling like my chest. I couldn't breathe.
All those emotions that you were holding. Yeah. All of
so my
those
chest
trauma.
was heavy, and I would go inside there and I see like the women are like very limber and they're moving, and for me I'm just like holding the lift and I'm like, oh, I am panting. And I was like, I want to be like, but
flexible.
you can do that in a week.
Yeah.
And so when I passed by, I saw Alia's shop, and something told me you have to go in there. So the first time I read what was like written there, and then the next time he told me you have to go inside. I went inside, and it's lucky enough I met Alia.
Right.
Like just when I got inside I met Alia, and but it was more of like the yoga was like let's start with yoga now because it's not working out, and just in the midst of that when I was like.
Okay.
And even that voice in my head, I remember that day when I met Alia, that voice in my head, I talk to myself sometimes. I look crazy.
Don't we all? Yeah, I do that all the time, yeah.
And I told myself, I think it's time now.
Right.
Yeah.
You knew.
Yeah, I remember those exact words.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's right, it's time now. And I went inside and I met Alia. And after that, now the session started.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much for just taking us through like your journey.
Yeah.
And so I want to get into now the work that you do, right? Because I think like you needed to heal yourself first, right? Yes. You needed to go through that. And so when you decided that it's time, you started with healing yourself energetically first, right? Or like, at that point.
When we started, I was so disoriented and anxious and confused and lost. I was like I was losing my mind because there was a lot of emotions. There was a lot.
Okay.
And with an unstable root chakra, it affects everything, even the mind. So everything was very affected. So I couldn't. Enough healing was the therapy and the hikes and the weed. So now we had to do like an energy healing session. Now we started with the energy healing session, which was targeting each chakra. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And how did that feel like in your body, right? Because if you were disoriented, your mind was just everywhere. You were overthinking. Earlier you mentioned that you have a Virgo sun, which Virgo is known for some of that. So how did it feel, like that energy healing? How did it feel in your body now, like knowing how you used to feel before?
Yeah.
And then post energy healing session, what was that like?
What it's funny enough is I used to feel afraid. There was this fear of I was afraid of everything and anything in my head. And that is like the biggest shift in the healing that I think affected my root chakra after that. Is that with time, with gradual and each release, I stopped feeling the fear. Because mostly I think everything is in the root chakra. If the root chakra is unstable, and especially when coming from childhood, you see there was a lot of disorientation.
Absolutely.
And with a lot of like betrayals and heartbreaks, all these other chakras get affected. So yeah, it was a lot of fear that I kind of now I'm just like, I was afraid of even just meeting someone and sitting down and talking. Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Because it's like, because it felt like a threat, because you had experienced a lot of threat in your childhood and stability.
Yeah.
So I can understand how some of that might manifest in like you just being afraid of like, you have your walls up, right? That's something I can deeply relate with, because if you have to protect yourself, like it feels like it's just you and you have to take care of that and protect yourself. So I can completely understand that.
So my walls were up cemented and painted, and just like there was a hole where I was just peeping and just like and desiring things, but because of the wall I couldn't. So yeah, there's also that wall, I had to take it down as well. But one thing I would feel is like I was afraid that anyone was just going to attack me or bully me. So it got to a point where I didn't want to as well like keep curating this character as well. But then that's the only way I know how to exist. So I needed to like get out of that. And that is one of the biggest things that now I feel safe, that I just show up. If we resonate, we were meant to. If we don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I am making peace with the fact that I can connect to you. I cannot connect to someone else. You can connect to someone else. You cannot connect to me. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all an experience.
Right.
But I had that thing in my mind that I have to fix, even if it's not working, I have to fix it.
Oh my gosh, I relate with that so deeply.
Yeah, I have to make sure it works. I have to, we have to get along. Even if I can feel you hate me, you have to like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that thing that, that would come, that I have to fit in. I have to even, like, I would walk to a place and feel like these people don't like me. But I would ignore that to try and just make peace
them like
and make them, like, play nice. As much as there's this something telling me, no, they don't like you, walk away.
Yeah, because I feel like it's coming from a place of like, I need to survive, right? It's like I need to, if we know like historically we needed community, we needed people, we needed relationship in order for us to survive. Like it's like an instinct, right? An animalistic instinct, right? So it's like you needed that in order for you to survive and thrive. And there are a lot of things that we need to do. Sometimes we wear masks, like the people pleasing, what you are doing to put yourself in a mold or position yourself or act in a certain way. That's out of survival. And like, who hasn't done that? Like, I'm thinking of like my years of like high school, where like maybe the people you're hanging out with, maybe you don't even like what they're doing, but like because you needed to fit in, you needed to play that role. And like there's nothing wrong with that, as long as of course, as long as you grow and realize that was just a role that you were playing and you were wearing a mask and for this particular reason. And so that's something I can deeply relate with. And, I'm glad that's a realization that you had.
Yeah, that's actually the biggest realization, is that I don't really have to fit in. And now I am experiencing the right people. You don't even need to do anything. They just come. They just accept you the way you are. Like now and it's new to me, because I'm used to making
forcing.
But no, now it's like happening organically, that sometimes I'm like, okay, this is how it goes.
Yeah.
Scares me sometimes.
Right.
But now I am teaching myself to be like,
Yeah.
No, it's okay. There are people who will help you without you asking, and they'll not ask for you to give
Right.
back. And that's how it's supposed to be. Not
Right.
the other way, but you have to give until you have nothing left.
Yeah.
And still, people still want to take.
Mhm.
Yeah, so now I am now experiencing that of...
It sounds like control versus flow.
Yes.
Right? It's like sometimes we try to control things because we feel like we are the only ones who can take care of ourselves, like no one else. Like I need these things to work, and therefore I'm gonna control. And then when you control, then you don't allow flow. And it sounds like you're learning to yeah, that's a huge lesson that I've been learning myself. Of like, it's actually not an easy thing to learn, right? It's because we are taught otherwise. Go, control.
Yeah.
Right? So learning to release that control, it's not an easy thing.
And also like when you meet someone who's just helping you out of like, because they're in your path to help, you know, like...
Right. It's like, what are your intentions?
Who sent you?
Yeah, there's suspicion because that's not, you didn't grow up like that.
I'm not used to
like
that.
you were used to threat and all of that, and all
like,
of a sudden.
Okay, what do you want?
Yeah.
Okay, what is in for you? What is in? Yeah. So now I am now in a different place whereby now I have to receive. I don't know how to.
I'm teaching myself to receive compliments. Compliments. It's like, you look nice. Without, like, because it used to be like, you look nice. Oh, you look nice too.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't intending on telling them.
Even like, I'm just being nice. So now I'm like learning, and the universe is putting me in these environments to heal that, whereby now I am meeting people whereby I now have to receive, have to accept like ease
and flow
and I didn't know, like, after now you've gotten out of all this survival and everything and all that fear and everything, there's also this other part of now you have to accept good things. So then now I'm also like learning to accept good things, to accept ease, to receive, to accept flow. And that has been the biggest thing that I've experienced after the sound healing, is that we are done with the threat, but now you are also the threat.
Right.
Yeah, you've been also on your way. Like I've been. It's not only like accountability, taking accountability in the fact that that happened. It's okay. Now I am here, and here requires me to relax, to just be and experience.
Yeah.
Which is a new territory.
Yeah.
It's like a new territory.
Right.
It's beautiful, but it's also like when you experience it the first time, it's like, it's triggering.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm used to controlling. I'm used to knowing how things are going to happen. I'm used to, so it's, that's a new space that I'm now, just now, like stepping into and being like, oh, okay, this is supposed to be.
Yeah. I love that. That's really beautiful because it's actually not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Like every single day I'm reminding myself that you can't control. You can't control because, like, especially when it's something that you used to do, like that's how you used to operate, right? And I just love that you're like learning to be like that, because for me it's like a struggle that I have to deal with every day. And honestly, I want to say that it's become easier over the last like maybe 2 years or so, where I've just had to let go. When something happens, I'm just like, okay, like it's happened. Because I feel like sometimes when something happened in the past, I would be like, oh my god, I want to fix this, and I don't have control over that. So it's been a huge lesson for me, like in this lifetime, and I'm glad that for you also is something that you've learned to do. No, I actually now want to transition to tarot. And I don't know, like I think I've been seeing a huge tarot community in Kenya now. It's not something that I used to see like 5 years ago. So I want to talk about tarot and the work that you do, like the readings that you do with people. I had the pleasure of attending your graduation because you trained in tarot, and there was a graduation where you guys were offering readings to people, and I had a pleasure of like being read by you. And like I was saying earlier, like when you read me, my body was receiving that information. Do you remember I told you, right? I told you immediately as it happened, because it was like some like you could you see
the session.
yes, you see somebody feel the information that you're telling them. And so I want to tell you, like, I want to ask you, like, what drew you to tarot?
So what drew me to tarot is like that was the first session before sound healing. You see, before when I was so disoriented, I had a feeling something was wrong. And I knew, so I needed confirmation. So when I walked into that room and I met Alia, that was the first thing that we
did.
Like we spoke about, and like, let's do tarot, and then tarot would guide us to everything else. And it did, because that's the first session we did tarot, and I had questions. And I would even, during the session, I would tell her, I would even be like, I just want to make sure that when I get, like, you can be the best guide to tell me what to do next after this. I just know, but I've been doubting my intuition. And it's not like something I was controlling at that point.
Yeah.
At that point, I was not in control. So I needed something to just tell me, you are right, of whatever you are suspecting, and we can go from there.
Right.
So for me, that was tarot.
It was like a confirmation of what you knew to be true.
Of what I thought was true. I didn't know actually I was going to go down the line and start like doing readings.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yes, that's interesting.
That's so interesting how like things come across. Yeah.
And like I mentioned to you earlier, I was like, at a certain age, I want to stop doing real estate and get into something else. And now I can see there's something else coming up.
Right.
And it's like tarot,
you're building it up.
And I'm building it up. And even when that time when I said something, I didn't picture it being. I was putting it open.
Right.
It's like whatever will come up then. But I didn't know I needed to heal to get into that part.
Yeah. Because absolutely, like if you're like, I am a firm believer that in order for you to heal other people, you actually also have to be healing yourself, right? Because I feel like actually the medicine comes from like a wisdom born out of the healing itself, right? And that is definitely something that I've experienced in myself. Like as I've healed, I feel like every time that I heal something or I go through like a dark period and I'm releasing and I'm healing, there's always like a wisdom that comes out of that. But the healing has to happen, right, for that to come. And in order for you to heal other people, I feel like it has to come from embodiment rather than something that you read or learned somewhere. So I think that was like an important stage for you to go through.
And that's why I've interacted with other healers, and a healer that will tell me does not do shadow work, I am just like, if you're not doing shadow work, how are you helping me?
Right.
Because it's constant. And shadows are there.
How can you be a healer without doing shadow work? Is that like possible? Because
you will be surprised. You interact with the spirit like this. For me, another shock that I got in this spiritual setup is that I assumed that like everyone is like genuine. But in this stage of spirituality, there are two sides. There are people who are doing it genuinely from their heart and they are like doing the experience. And there are those who are just like doing it to get recognition. And they're not doing it they're not like healing and growing within, which I've experienced with them as well. I've experienced that. And I've experienced those who are like, even themselves, you can see like when I started working with this person, he's like, it was at this point and now it's at this point. And this person, something is happening, but even the shadow work, they don't want to do it. And that's when I kind of draw back. For me, like one thing that has the bigger, like shows me a red flag is if it's your healer and you're shunning away from shadow work. And it actually, I don't know if you've interacted with someone who like a healer who doesn't do shadow work.
No, I mean like, I think I know that sometimes you can read or go to school for like to become a therapist or whatever, but like you're not examining your own life, like that's right, like because it's like you're learning, you're being taught, right, there's things, but then if you're not embodying them in your own life, I feel like that's the way that I feel like I know that some of that is happening, but I don't think like It's something that I've experienced personally. So that's where I was like, oh, how can how can you call
so
yourself?
that's also another big part that was a shock to me in the spiritual in this spiritual experience with other people, is that there are people who, like, where they're at, they don't want to leave that space because there's a lot of fame, recognition that's coming with that. But there are those who would get uncomfortable to get to another level. And I would prefer that. Like, I prefer that no one knows of me existing, but a soul that is aligned to mine
is the only one
knows
that finds
of my
you.
existence
Yeah.
and finds me.
Yeah.
And it will find me in whatever way. Because even on Saturday, the people who showed up, only one person had attended sound healing. Everyone else, it was their first time. And I was like, yeah, these are the people who are like, once I've gotten to this level, these are the people who are coming in.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want to do this again. Would you? And I was like, yes. Means I also need to do more work on myself. So yeah. And tarot does that actually. Tarot brings you, when you look at the cards. Because for me, when I started with them, it was to heal and as a guide. And when I even started learning tarot, I wasn't learning tarot. I was learning myself through the tarot.
Absolutely.
Through the card.
Absolutely.
I believe that. That's why when you said, like, when I read the cards, I was just looking at you through the cards. And that's what I was getting. And even the connection of, like, me being there and you being comfortable and asking, because I think most people who spoke to me that day, they were like, well, is it just easy to ask you anything without feeling judged? And I'm like, the cards never judged me. Why would I judge you? So that there's that space of the cards talking to me and also guiding me and showing me, like, yo, they're like, they don't sugarcoat. That's the thing. And if you try to hide, they'll still bring you back. They'll still bring you back to this and tell you, no, you're running away from this. So each time, that's the best thing I love about Alia, is she'll tell you, connect to the cards.
Yeah.
By connecting to the card would tell me,
right,
you're running away from this. And through all that, like 3 months of the sessions, it was more of like shadow work than learning tarot.
Right.
Yeah, it was more of like shadow work than learning tarot.
I think it goes hand in hand, right? Like, yeah. So
each time, even when we showed up, and I remember I traced my school work in tarot, is that I remember the difference when we started, when I was afraid of the death card, to when we finished in graduation.
You could see the change.
Yes. Yeah. I could be like, the death card has shown up. It's telling me that I need to do this. The tower is telling me this. And you could see, and I could connect. Now I wasn't running away. I was now leaning into it more and just being like, okay, what do I need to do? I'm not running away now.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I can run away to. I am here.
Right.
And that's why I saw a post online where there was like this big black thing he was talking about. Like, we are your shadows. We are part of you. Why are you afraid? We are actually guiding you to the light. And it made me realize that I've been through hell, but I have embraced my hell. And each single day I meet the hell now, it's like, yeah, I need to be here so I can see something else.
Yeah, I love that. I love there's this teacher that I follow, or coach, or person that talks about shadow work, writes about shadow work. One of the beautiful ways that he puts shadow work is that through his experience is that the shadow, like in his experience, he talks about how the shadow held every single thing that you couldn't hold when you didn't have the capacity. You were younger. You needed the shadow. You needed to hold all of these things. But so it's not a bad thing. It's part of you, right? We have light and dark, and shadow is a part of, it's on the other side of the light. Yeah. It's like the other side of the coin, right? And so he says that, like, the shadow is holding things, and then it's like a gold. When you address the shadow, you look at the shadow, you're mining the gold. And that's definitely something that I've seen in my own life. Like, all the things that I was afraid of were things that led me to the gold that's within, that I didn't not know that I have. And I know that a lot of people are scared because it's like you don't want to see some parts of you. You don't want to think of yourself as as those things,
Yeah.
right? But like they don't make you a bad person, right? I feel like that's what a lot of people are afraid of being like, I'm a bad person or I'm evil because of this thing, because of the shame that I have, right?
But that's the thing, like, it's not even about like working on it and letting it go. It's all about just accepting. Like acceptance is the biggest part of
I love
shadow.
that. I love that.
Just
Yes.
accept.
Yes.
And not accept like saying, because I usually say that two things. There's that like a verbal accepting where I'm saying, yeah, I accept. And there's that like, I accept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one where you're talking to
Yes.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
I accept.
Yeah, it's I love that because it reminds me of the work that I've been doing like in the last maybe a year and a half or so, because shadow work, parts work, I don't know if you had parts work, it's very similar, like family systems. It's very similar to shadow work. Things that like, for example, shame, accepting your shame and being like, okay, I'm shameful about this and I accept it and I accept this part of me. Right? It's like all these things are part of you, like they're not bad.
Yes.
Right? It's accepting them takes the power away that they used to have, the hold that they used to have on you. And I feel like a lot of us don't know that. We don't know that that's all we need to do. We just run away from them. We're so afraid of them, because they make us bad.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think when you're love and light and you're not going to the dark, you fear. And I think fear feeds off like that shadow whereby like you're afraid of it. But I have come from the experience that I've had so much in like being in the dark. It's the most beautiful place you can ever be at. As long as you don't stay there too long. It's the most beautiful place you can ever be at, because it will show you who you are. And once you embrace that and you stop being afraid, it becomes nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing though.
Yeah, it's not.
It's so painful.
Even for me, like last year, this time, I wouldn't be talking like this.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
But it's funny that once you're honest with yourself. For me, before I used to think I was honest, but I was just honest with everyone else. I wasn't honest with
yourself.
myself.
Yeah. And which is the most important, being honest with yourself. Yeah.
But when now Taro guided me into being honest with myself. Like there were some times I would open the card, I'm like, hey, you're calling me out. You're calling me out. It's too much. It's too much. I even remember one of our classes, and everyone that day, the card was calling everyone out. I was just like, woo. They're telling us they're not playing. Even when I told Ali, I was like, ooh, the call-out game today is...
It's so strong, yeah.
That day we all left. We were like very, like, everyone was quiet. No one was talking because we were just like, eh? And it calls you out in a sense that you either accept or you walk away. And walking away means you cannot continue. Or if you continue, it means you're lying.
Right.
Yeah. And then you cannot even get the accurate reading. Or you cannot channel to deeper. And so when it calls you out and you accept it, actually the emotion behind it dissolves.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a reason why like that card showed up, right? And it's like whether you choose to go or like run away from it.
Tarot is it was like, I think that has been the most beautiful thing about shadow work is tarot. Like tarot just...
Actually, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it's like one of the tools that you can use to do shadow work. I didn't know, because for me, a lot of the shadow work that I've done has been through like the parts work, right? And also like just and understanding things that trigger me. Like whenever somebody triggers me, something that triggers me, then I know that it's something that I need to go within and understand, like, why was I triggered? Because there's a reason that I was triggered. Otherwise, like whatever they did, whatever they said shouldn't evoke like activate me. If I'm activated, I'm like, okay, there's a part of me that I've been ignoring. Yeah. There's a part of me that I haven't looked at.
Yeah.
That's why like I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, right? So that's the way that I've done shadow work. It's the first time that I'm finding out that you can use tarot as a tool for shadow work.
That's for you.
You learn something
for you
new.
now to breathe, because for you to trust your intuition, you have to work through with your shadows. Actually, that's what I've learned so far. Is like intuition is whatever holds us from getting into our intuition is to to know our shadows. So for me to trust that voice, I have to go accept those shame, guilt, and everything. if I don't do it, I
Mm-hmm.
will not trust that voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not read.
Mm-hmm.
Because now what am I reading if I cannot connect to
Yeah.
to myself and to that higher voice?
Mm-hmm.
And for me to get there, I have to go through this light, dark, light, dark. We only love the light. But for you to come to
Yeah.
the light genuinely,
Yes,
you have
to go
dig
through the
deep to
dark.
that
Yeah.
hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I feel like most of my light I feel like I experience more light every single time I go through like a dark period.
Yes.
Every single time like the dark period is so dark, I feel like the light is even lighter.
Yes.
I don't know if you feel like
It
that.
is
Yeah.
100%.
It's like if I'm
100%.
like in the darkness and I'm hating it, I'm not
Yeah.
I don't no one loves being like in those painful moments where it just feels so dark, right? Like I've been in those spaces so many times, but I always know that the lighter side is going to be even more lighter.
Yes.
But then the darker gets darker. Like it's a
But
ebb
you
and
see,
flow.
this is
Yeah.
the beauty.
Uh-huh.
It's
It's like a dance. Yeah.
it goes up. That's
Yes.
one thing that I like.
Yes, it
Anya
does.
and I were like, it goes up.
Uh-huh.
So that like I am in this rut now.
Uh-huh.
If I walk through it and I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
any rut that will be here will not now go down. It will be here.
Mm-hmm.
So it just
Right.
so the
It's a
shadows,
spiral.
the shadows are now like not deeper because you've accepted them. They are there, but
They don't
just
have that much power.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So it gets to a point where now, like for me, honestly speaking, you can guilt me.
Mhm.
I can feel fear,
Mhm.
but I'm just like, yeah, it's okay.
Mm.
There's something else here. Like there's something better.
Yeah.
And eventually it turns out like there's something better.
Mm-hmm.
This after a moment of the panic,
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, that's why this didn't work out because this was supposed to.
Right.
So now I'm looking at it as a guide.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of like just guidance.
Mhm.
It's guiding me somewhere.
Mhm.
It's guiding me somewhere.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but most of the time when it's happening with intensity, it's just guiding me to something way better
Mm-hmm.
and more, like a more beautiful experience. It's like the rejections that I've experienced from like potential partners. I was like, why are they rejecting me? Like, blah, 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 blah. But then later you come to realize, hey, this guy was a chronic narcissist.
Yeah.
But then you meet someone better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a guide.
Everything is for you.
Yeah,
it's happening
so
for you.
Even like them, I invited this person into my energy to show me that I do not love myself. So with that, like, that complaining is just already showing me like I don't love myself.
Mhm.
Because if I love myself, I wouldn't care if someone is rejecting me.
Yeah.
And before I would be like, oh, I just why let me make them love me,
Yeah.
come to me and
Yeah.
choose me. But now I'm like, you're just showing me something
Yeah.
that I wasn't aware of, but now I am.
Yeah.
And just moments after that, you meet someone else who shows you the most beautiful experience, just shows you something that you never even expected existed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why nowadays when I hear someone complaining like, oh, they're not, I don't know, good relationship partners, I'm just like, you've not experienced the dark side of yourself.
Yeah.
You've not like accepted that person who came into your life and did what they did
Mm-hmm.
because they were for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you invited them to your energy is they're guiding you. They're like your tarot. They're guiding you deeper into yourself. Like, what are you doing? Like for me, people pleasing and shunning myself down, I wasn't loving myself. And there was this guy who came and showed me that. And I felt like heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I was angry. But then later, I was like, at this point, I'm not attracted to him. But I am just like, he showed me the most deepest shadows of myself that I was running away from and not trying to address.
Yeah.
So when I sat down, now I don't see him as like attractive. I just see him as someone who guided me to this.
Led you back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's a reflection of your consciousness and
Yes.
what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stopped even complaining about people.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, you're triggering me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into right now,
Mhm.
but later
Mhm.
I can sit down and just be like, why did this person
Mm-hmm.
make me feel this way?
Mm-hmm.
And everything just comes up.
Yeah.
Everything just comes up.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean like life should be like a shadow work practice or anything. but just those triggers that you feel like the person is annoying, or this moment has made me feel like this. So tarot each day, when each day I would do practice before, like, because we were doing daily practices on our own as we connect with the cards before we go to our sessions. It was showing me that. It was showing me like you're getting easily angry because you felt like this and this was not addressed when you were a child. You're still angry at these people. But because you've not addressed that anger, you're now getting angry at everything.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was like what came out.
Absolutely.
And I sat with that and I really realized, I never felt or expressed this anger. And I got into it. I was like, how do I now express and channel this anger and now transmute it into something better?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad that you said that, because now I'm more curious about tarot than ever. Like I've had other than you, I've had other tarot readings as well, but I didn't know about that you can use it. I've always thought that, I mean, like the readings that I've had, it's like a question that I've had about myself, and it's never like a shadow work question. But that's so interesting that it has that. I had no idea at all. So when you're doing a reading, you're reading somebody, right? Because I feel like there's a confusion where like some people think that you're telling them, you can tell them about the future. So I wanted for you to speak about that. Can you use tarot to predict, or like what is it reading?
So tarot is more of like guidance.
Okay.
It's more of like a guide. It can give you probable things that will happen in the future. But remember, like I said, unless you work within yourself, you will not get there. So it can tell me, it can show there's a probability of this happening. But if you're not working towards it, you're seated down, it will not happen. So it just guides you. It just shows you like in your future, there's this and this and this.
It's like a potential.
Yeah.
Like it's reading the energy field and it's because there are a lot of potentials and a lot of possibilities and you have free will, and based on like what you're doing and what you're not doing. What you're doing is tapping into this potential, or like if you don't do something, then you're stuck, or whatever you do, whatever decision you make, then you're tapping into whatever potential. Yeah.
Like for me, the tarot are showing like there's a lot of abundance, there's a lot of like wisdom and everything.
When you read me, there was a lot of abundance, and I was like,
and I was just like, oh God, how is this going to happen?
Yeah.
And then it was more like it's just guiding you. You have to do the work. You have to get into those shadows, those beliefs, and work within yourself. Tap into that for you to get to that point. It will not tell you how to do it, but now that comes in when now you start to go deeper within yourself. You get now that guidance to get you there. But as long as you believe and you're willing to do the work, the road paves itself.
Right.
Yeah. So tarot, it predicts, but it will not like give you potential of possibilities that are going to happen. But it doesn't mean that because there's a partner meant for you, if you don't do work on yourself, you still meet that partner. That partner has done work on themselves. Do you think they'll settle for someone who's not done work on themselves?
So wait, when you're reading somebody and it shows there's a partner, is it showing a partner that has done work on themselves? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely. Because a union has to be very divine.
Right.
Especially if it's showing in tarot. So for you to get that partner, you have to match. You have to align with that partner. Yeah. So if you're not aligning, you're just, the tarot told me there was someone.
But what if they're the ones who are not aligned with you? What if
there is always someone somewhere? It's not the same person. Right. That's the thing. It changes. It gives you a
bunch of people.
Yeah. It gives you a number of possibilities. You are the one who aligns. Okay. And in whatever position, even wherever you are at the moment, you're aligning to someone.
Yeah, because it's like whatever you are, whether you've healed or not, it's still going to show you on the same frequency
as you. So if you do the work to align to the best frequency, you'll have to do the work and meet each other there. Unless now if you're two partners and you're on the same level and now you want to do the work together, that's also possible. But if I am single and like the cards are showing me the potential partner, I have to do the work to get to them. It's not like this.
But I feel like, what if you're healing? Like, you're at a good place, right? Like, it's a journey, right? There's no destination, you're healing. And then you get a reading, and it's like tapping into somebody who's like on the same frequency, you know, level of healing, whatever. But then, like, you outdo that person. Then that means, like, your timeline is...
Yes, but you see, you have outdone them on a different frequency.
Does
someone
that
else
delay
there.
you then in terms of like...
There's someone else there. You have done them, you've left them here. There's someone else waiting for you there. There's someone else who's done also. Like, there's 7 billion people on the planet. So, in whatever frequency you are at, and you attract people who are on the same frequency as you. So, if you work and you outdo the one that you like, there's another one who even has better than what you expected. You just don't know yet.
Yeah.
But then you'll meet them there, and they'll like this is the universe. It's like 1,000 possibilities, a billion, a trillion, infinite
possibilities. Yeah.
So there's always someone somewhere.
Right.
So if you doesn't align, you'll align with someone else somewhere else. It changes.
Yeah. Because I feel like I've had people who are like, oh, that tarot reading got it wrong or whatever. So then that means, you know, they thought that it was predicting their future and that it didn't matter what they did.
Yeah.
Right? When somebody says that, it means that they weren't thinking, like, if you're thinking tarot as like a predictive future, like a granted, given, regardless of what you do, then that's when I guess you would be disappointed, quote unquote. Really so if you see it as a guidance, as like something that reads the energy, reads the possibilities that are there, based on your actions and based on your decisions, and you know
they lead you there.
Right.
It's like, let's say I'm coming for a reading, and I'm like, he shows this, like, I'm looking for a job. Of course,
there's a
but
job.
What are you doing to align with that job? You cannot be like, I'm looking for a job, and then you sit down waiting for the job to come to you. You have to work on yourself to align to that job, to attract it to you. The laws of attraction. It's not even about attracting like. It's more of like what's on the same vibration as you is what you attract.
Yeah. What about people that ask like yes or no questions when it comes to tarot? It's still the same thing.
Yes,
like especially when you're trying to make a decision, like should I leave this job or not? Right? If I'm asking you that question, then it shows a potential of like if you left this job, this is the possibility. If you didn't leave, this is the possibilities.
Yeah. And also the cards will tell you, they're the cards that will just say yes, and some will just be like, no, not tonight, or not right now.
Not right now, okay. Yeah.
So they do show you, and they even like, and if you draw further, they'll guide you.
Yeah.
So most of the time, for me, the first session I had, I was like, this is now the issue that we are dealing with. Then I asked her, what should I do? And we drew another card, and the cards, we took another draw, and it now guided into, it was like sound healing, now heal, now try to align to what you desire. Because at that moment, I felt like I desire things, but I'm not attracting those that I desire. I'm attracting, but I'm just attracting things that I feel like, no, this is not what I want. And the biggest question was like, your energy, are you vibrating at the same thing that you want? Which I wasn't. And I needed to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And trust me, it was hard. I'll not lie to you, it was hard. Like just to get out of that place of where you feel like the universe owes you something to a place whereby you need to co-create with the
you're
universe.
Feeling like a victim versus like your source.
I was
right?
the biggest victim in the world. I felt like everyone owed me an apology or to feel sorry for me. But the universe does not respond to that. It responds to who you are and where you're vibrating. So wherever you're vibrating, that's what it will bring. So even me, that guy that came in last year, that's where I was vibrating at. And that's why he came. And if I would have not done the work, I wouldn't be here. At this point, I don't think we are vibrating on a different frequency.
Yeah.
And even now, the people who are coming into my life, the people that I never thought existed in this world. I just like meeting people. I'm like, wow, people like this exist. Because I was used to certain energies. But deep down, I knew, no, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I deserve better. But how? So then that how is now the tough part that I think we are always afraid of getting into. And so tarot just guided me to that how. And that how is literally just sitting down and looking at it, and when it guides you, you don't now run away, or you don't you don't do the denial part. Though you also have to heal that denial part, because refusing to accept the truth is like another part that's like a wound on its own. So you have to heal that part to get to a point whereby you're just okay with whatever it tells you. Like if it tells you, you're acting shameful, you'll be like, yeah, I am, and it's because of this and this, but why do I need to be shameful? So it's really hard at the beginning to get into it.
Yeah.
But once you've accepted, I'm doing this, and no matter how hard, it gets easier.
Yeah, you really have to be honest with yourself. It sounds like it requires radical honesty about the things you're willing to confront and the things that you're not willing to confront. So now I want to get into sound healing, because like Taro, I also attended one of your sound healing, which you were co-hosting with another woman and this other man that was doing like the flute. Oh my God, that healing session was so beautiful. As I mentioned, honestly, like it's like I was feeling the energy even before it started, because I was in a dark space, first of all. So when I came into that session, and I remember talking about it, if you remember. Yeah. So when I came into that session,
you were smiling in the end.
Yeah. So when I came into that session, because I was in a dark space, I was already crying before you guys even started. It's like the energy of the whole thing. Even before you guys started, I was feeling it, and I was like releasing already. And then the whole session was so beautiful. Like the sounds, the birds were supporting us. Like there was like a whole,
it was like a nature thing,
like a whole orchestra going on with you guys, and the flute, and then the birds. It was such a magical experience. And I honestly, if you ask earlier, I mentioned like sound healing because of that session.
Yeah, she mentioned, she was like,
I'm like, keep asking because of that session, because I was like, if I can do this for somebody, like it's so beautiful.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I want to talk about that, and like what sound healing, what it is, and what it's also done for you, and how you're using it to help other people heal. So first of all, like I want to ask, like, what is it? What is sound healing? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know that sound healing is a modality for healing.
So sound healing is where crystal balls and a few other equipments, the gong, the cowrishes, the sound that is used to produce water-like noise and things like that. So this sound and sound moves through water, and our bodies have water.
Oh, a body, like
70%
water.
And most of the time when we have blockages, like for you to access it is just through water. So sound with the crystals, and our bodies also have crystals.
Right.
So most of like our bones is most of it have crystals. So with that sound from crystals and sound traveling through water, and also having it in our body, when we listen to it and we're there and we're relaxed, it kind of just brings into the vibration, highlights where the blockages are, and brings about healing.
Yeah.
So I think that would be sound healing.
Yeah.
That's how I would explain sound healing.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Was it hard for you to learn sound healing? Did it feel like natural?
It's funny that like the first class, I just took the mallet and I even said, I was like, it's like I've done this before.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in your past life if you were doing sound healing.
This before, so this happened organically, and we were getting guidance from Alia. And for her, she's been doing this for 10 years, so she's very certified. And she was using like the music, I don't know, the keys. And for me, I've never studied music. The only thing I've done.
Me neither.
Yeah, I've never studied. Trust me, I don't even know how to play any other instrument beside drums. I loved playing drums when I was young, growing up at some point. I loved playing drums. That's the only
music that you were
that I know
exposed to.
That I was exposed to. So just being, and you were talking about like G clef, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But I think in my lineage, the people that I come from, they have that in them.
Right.
And it's part of them that I needed to heal as well.
Yeah.
So going to that sound healing really healed my people because they couldn't express it when they were alive. My ancestors, they were very ancestral. So sound healing was very ancestral to me. So just doing it just became like, oh, even that day we were like, oh, we're just going to do water, divine connection, and things like that. And like everyone who showed up, in a way, is something they needed.
Yeah, I really needed it.
Yeah.
I remember giving the testimony that I really needed it.
Yeah. So it just happens. You don't know. It comes. And it's more of like what you're remembering and what is coming to you in terms of what we used to do before civilization was, before the world is what it is now. So it just channels you and brings you back to like, removes. Instead of like medicine, like medicine is a short fix. But sound, it goes to the issue direct. Even when I started with earlier, it was addressing the issue directly. Like we were not hitting around the bush. I had a lot of issues, but we were like today we are doing root. We do the sound for root. And like after that, everything that was coming up was with regards to the root chakra. Any issues, any concerns that I needed to address were all about the root chakra. Until I got to a point where I started to like, okay, I'm feeling like I remember I could feel when my body now started to ground and come back inside, and then I stopped feeling cold. I remember like after, like I can clearly remember that because that's something that I never experienced. I used to like to go to the coast because it's hot. I think it's been a while I've been to the coast because now my body temperature is
back to normal.
I remember when my body now still came back, and then I started to ground and I could feel me back into my body. And that was like,
and sound did that to you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This like the sound that she did to my root chakra, and also with like you also have to do extra shadow work, work out, and do all these other things that it comes up when you're now in the session. It's not like she just do the sound and then you will go and no, you also have to do the work.
No, you have to do the work, right? Like it's not. It's a daily thing of just getting in touch with yourself and seeing like what's coming up and accepting that and taking care of yourself. So I really love that. And so it healed you, and then it made you understand that like this is something, like the resonance I feel like was there in order for you to then take it as like something you want to take and then teach other people, or like teach other people or heal other people using.
Yes. So after some time, she was like, I'm now doing sound lessons and I was like, yes, I want to do it.
Yeah, it was like a quick yes. There was no.
But when we started, I was so not in touch with the masculine side. I was like very still toxic masculinity in a wounded feminine. So that sound opened that channel up to heal that part. Of like me getting in touch with my masculine and now accepting, because you have to balance. So even the graduation we did like the divine balance.
Yes.
Yeah. So sound kind of just healed that part of me, whereby you're in the society where you're expected a lot, you have to work like a man, so you're not relying on your intuition because
you're supposed to strive. Yes.
So I was striving. I was like, work, make money. But then my feminine was like, we cannot operate until this one is also
the balance has to be there.
So it literally, like when we started the classes, it just went direct and was telling me masculine.
I really love that, because I feel like that's what a lot of us struggle with, because we are raised to go, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, controlling things or going after things, feeling like you always have to go, and like it's just you. Right, and it really does come from, it doesn't come from a bad place, right? It comes from like a space of scarcity, or sometimes where you felt like you didn't have enough, and therefore you have to go get or go in order to kind of like satisfy something that you feel like is missing within you, right? And you feel like this thing is gonna give you that, right? So it's like you're constantly chasing, and I feel like we don't understand the dance that is involved in life, like that dance of co-creation, that dance of, okay, you want something, there's the doing, but there's also the allowing.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking that from my own experience, where like that is something that I was saying earlier I struggle with. It's like the struggle with like that balance of like, when do I do and when do I allow? Because all I was taught is the doing. The allowing is like so difficult when you're using. You're used to doing. And I didn't know that sound. I mean, I know that yes, it's a healing modality, but I didn't know that there are specific things, especially that specific thing. Because now it's making me even want to just get into sound more. Because I'm like, that is something that I honestly struggle with. That balance of yin and yang.
Yeah.
Right? And so if sound can do that for you, that is so beautiful. And I know that that's what some of what you did in that session.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, I really love that. And like, I'm just like, okay, like I'm ready.
Yes, yeah, it does. And the thing is, like, when the first session it was more of like you were showing, like it was just introduction, and then we did that. Second session it was more of like, you need to get into your flow. That was actually what came up. I need to get into flow. And I was like, yes, I am Mrs. Control things. And one thing about manifestation is you cannot control. No matter, actually the first, if you control is you're resisting. That's like the biggest resistance you can offer. So sound just highlighted, like you need to be in flow. And flow is more of like letting go of control. And so many years we were controlling things. And then this time you have to surrender. To surrender to what?
Honestly, like if you're used to doing and control, surrender feels like giving up.
Yes.
Right? Who wants to give up, right? But sometimes I felt like, and I have examples where I was forced to give up,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize that what I did was actually surrender. And when I did that, when I felt like, okay, I give up, then I said those words, and I remember saying those words. Like at one point, I remember I was looking for a job, and I was just like applying, reaching out, and it wasn't working. And then I was like, okay, give up. Right? I didn't realize that what I was giving up was the control. It's not giving up. Like, and immediately I did the give up. I got invited to like an interview and then got the job or whatever. But so what I did was surrender, and I didn't realize that after I surrendered, then I allowed the energy to flow, and that is how it was able to come to me. But it's a hard concept for people to understand.
So the fact that you have water in your body, you have like water flows. It has to surrender. The river.
Right, because it doesn't know what it's coming across. They're like rocks.
If you put it in the fridge, it's an ice. You put it, you melt it out as water. If you evaporate, it's gas. That beauty of water just transforming into whatever it is according to that environment, the adaptability of that thing, the sound now comes into. Once it's in your body and it gets into the water, it will go straight to where the block is and highlight and just bring it up and be like, this is the issue. How to deal with it. Yeah. So it's up to you.
Yeah. When I attended your session, I remember talking about it, like, parts were highlighted. At some points as you guys were going around, I would feel like my heart, I would see like purple, like my, I would see my third eye and crown. So I knew that those are specific things that are being highlighted. Yeah.
So it's like, it just brings it up. Whatever you want to do after that is up to you, but it just highlights directly. It does not, you don't need to go for checkups or at most of the time, because mostly illnesses or blockages are just like the way we live in life. Either we are stressed, it's because of something external or something that we are impacting within ourselves. So sound will just show you like direct, like this is where the issue is at. If you're feeling pain here, that's where you need to look into. If it's here, that's where you need to look into. What do you need to adjust? So just for me, sound just shows me where the issue is at. And once it shows you where the issue is at, if you pay close attention to your intuition, it will guide you on how to work through it.
Yeah. I know you hold sessions, so I wanna highlight that you're doing this. You're using sound to heal people. You're using tarot to guide people. So you hold session. Can you talk about that so that people can know that this is something? And if they were listening and they were like, okay, like I want to explore that, Can you talk about your session so that they can know how to find you, how to reach you?
Yeah, we have, I'm now working with Enso Holistic Wellness. And we have every Saturday from January, it will be a very regular thing. We call it Soulful Saturdays. So we started in November, we have only 2 sessions. We had one last Saturday, and there's one coming up on the 22nd. So Soulful Saturdays is all about getting deep into anything beautiful that we need to explore about life that will bring us out of the culture that we are in to a culture of within.
The hustle culture, the masculine, bring us into the feminine, into balance.
Bring us into balance with life and nature, and just because one thing about life is you cannot change the external, but you can change
the internal.
Yeah. But if we can tap into you going within, because once you change within, the outside changes. It just matches your inside. So the point and the goal, because you're calling it soulful, is for the soul. And yeah, my teacher came up with that word, and I was just like, that's exactly what I would have named it. So soulful is for the soul. It's more of like food for your soul, to guide your soul and heal, enjoy, explore is what we are doing. So it's more of like service to the community, because the charge is like at 888 shillings from 4:30 to 6. And just whenever you want to come in and experience and replenish your soul.
Yeah.
Just drop by.
Right. Yes. And okay, absolutely. That's so beautiful. And with tarot readings as well, that's something you offer people, right?
Yes, I also offer tarot. We do privately or in person. Mostly over the phone or in person with either WhatsApp, video call, or WhatsApp, audio call. And the charges are depending with time.
Depending on the duration of
the duration of time. Or if you want to do like a deep intensive reading, if you want to do like 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, also that is broken down.
Yeah.
But we discuss that privately.
Beautiful. Yes. How can people find you then?
I'm on TikTok as Anastancia the Priestess, Anastancia _ priestess, and on Instagram, Nanguri.
If that sounds too complicated, I'm gonna include your socials in the description. Yeah. So if you've been listening to Anastasia, you want to do a tarot reading, or you want to attend her energy healing session, sound healing, I highly recommend attending a sound healing because it's so beautiful. It's like one of the modalities for sure that's like people are not aware of. Yeah. And so if you want to do that, I'm going to include her socials in the description. You can find them and you can find ways to get in touch with Anastasia and work with her, whether you want a tarot reading or whether you want a sound healing. It's been so beautiful having you. Honestly, like there's so many things that you talked about today that I was like, okay, today was just like an intro into you. I actually want to have a conversation again. There's so many things. I want to dive into shadow work.
Yes.
I want to dive into the masculine toxic femininity that you were talking about earlier. Like that's something I want to dive into, but will be too long if we and I wanted to ask, but I was like, I just want to keep it small today. But those are the things that I want to dive into with you like next time. So this is just the beginning, and I want to have you again so we can talk about this again. But thank you so much for making time. This has been a beautiful discussion. I'm gonna have you again so we can talk about these things because I love talking about this. Like I was telling you in the car as we are riding back here, I was like, I feel like we're diving into the meat of the discussion. So that's there's a lot to talk about.
Yes, there is. I've also realized there's a lot.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I'll stop here. But come back again so that we can talk about these things.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, Anastasia.
You're welcome.
We hope today's conversation resonated with you, brought you a sense of clarity, and maybe even challenged you to reflect further on your healing and spiritual journey.
If it touched something in you, we'd be so grateful if you left us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify. And if you're on YouTube, share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your reflections or suggestions for future topics.
You can find our socials and email in the episode description. We always love hearing from you. Until next time, take gentle care of your soul, mind, and body.